What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. Let me say it one more time. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you can have me at your next event. I like to party with the people. Today on the program, I think I gave it away. If you're looking at the video version, it's Ivy. Ivy's on the program. Who's Ivy? You're going to find out in the next few minutes. So stick around for that. This week's shows, well, as I'm recording this on Saturday, I have no shows tonight. Oh, I do get to go see my daughter perform at her dance recital. Yay! I'm excited about that. All right, no shows tonight, but let's see. I'll have podcasts all week long, so stay tuned for that. And Friday night, next Friday night, I'll be at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. My usual Friday night gig. It's the Rab in Conway. They got a full bar. The kitchen's open. Pool tables, pool tournament. And so there's always something to do while you're waiting to sing a song with the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam with yours truly right there at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. And then on Saturday, I'll be at the Choctaw VFW in Choctaw, Arkansas, right near Clinton, in case you don't know where Choctaw is. Kind of a smaller town, but they got a cool VFW, full bar, big giant room, big stage, and you get to share the stage with me. It's the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam at Choctaw VFW. Now, that one usually starts at 9 p.m. and we go until about 1 a.m. So, stick around go to that one. Come and find me. Follow me around. I'm easy to find. So, the Rab at 8 p.m. on Friday night and the Choctaw VFW on Saturday night at 9 p.m. All right. Is that enough intro? I think it is. Let's get into it with Ivy. I get to speak to the members of Ivy on Skype. Now, they're not on video, and there's a reason for that. We'll get into it in the conversation. Skyping Ivy now.
Sophia and Abby.
Sophia and Abby. All right. Sophia and Abby, known as
Ivy.
Ivy. So the two of you are Ivy.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. So that's a little bit about you. Let's find out a little bit more about you, who you are. Sophia and Abby, give the people a little idea of who you are.
Well, we're a little duo from the UK, and we live near Manchester. And we started making music around midsummer last year. And we weren't very good because we were just learning how to produce at that time. But and then we started getting better because at college we chose music. And then this year, about start of quarantine actually, we started making music properly and then releasing on SoundCloud, and Talk got the most attention. So we just kept releasing music from there, basically.
Fantastic. I know that I looked at your SoundCloud and I listened to a lot of the songs on your SoundCloud. There's quite a few. In the past 2 months, you've been very prolific. I guess being stuck in your rooms, quarantined, gives you a little creative outlet. And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
A lot of the creatives that I've been talking to have been doing just that thing, finding other outlets since they cannot perform on stage. Have you ever performed on stage?
No, we're going to.
Yeah, as solo artists, we've performed, but not as a duo. So that'd be quite nice that we can do that once quarantine's over, hopefully.
All right. So it's Sophie and Abby. Abby, you performed individually. You performed on stage at various times, and I guess you can give the people an idea of. There's a reason why your video is not sitting next to my video the way it usually would be. Why is that?
Well, we haven't decided that we've wanted to put out our image yet because we haven't had professional pictures taken, and we haven't got to that stage yet.
Well, everyone with a smartphone and Instagram and filters can make themselves some kind of of a photo, but I know that there has to be other reasons. You're protecting yourselves because of your youth, right? Your age.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the big ones. Yeah.
Well, that's
Mhm.
good. That's something that we can actually delve in, and I really that's something that's dear to my heart. I have children myself, and I never put them on Instagram and any social media whatsoever, and that's to protect them. I know that the people that have been growing up in social media that have had their parents posting pictures since well maybe 2000, the turn of the century, the millennium, if you will.
Yeah.
Now that they're coming of age, they're seeing all these baby pictures and pictures of themselves growing up, maybe in not the most flattering positions, but they're calling their parents out. Is that something that
Yeah.
you think have your parents ever done that to you, or have you heard of this kind of thing? What's your opinion?
Well, I think as an individual, you should be able to say if you want something to go up online. So I don't, I don't know. I've not really thought about it before, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just
I think
you're protecting yourself because of your age, and I figure
Yeah.
that's what struck a chord in me, and I like that idea. But continue.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I've never my parents personally, they've just taught me basics of like online safety and stuff like that. But I think with music, especially as we're getting older, we're almost 18 now. So I think once we get more like following and stuff like that and grow our music more, then we'll start to release our image.
If it gets to a stage where we have a fairly big fan base, and I think that would be a sensible time to do something like that. But whilst we're small, I don't think it's very necessary.
It's amazing how 18 is the magic number. That's the number that here you're fully formed. Go out into the world. You're not quite fully
Yeah.
formed, but you're very smart to keep yourself safe. While you're in school. And how has school been going during the quarantine times? I know you had to probably finish your last semester in quarantine. How did that go?
It was difficult at first, but we've music wise, obviously we've not been able to perform, and a lot of our courses in college is that we have to perform a lot of the time. So we're getting a lot of the theory side done now. So a lot of like the music theory, the actual composers and all of that. We're getting all of that done now. And now that it's summer break, we don't really have to do anything. We have a few essays and stuff that we have to do over summer, but we've got all next year. We have all of the performance side, which is quite exciting. Something to look forward to.
So I'm guessing that the regular courses, the reading, the writing, the arithmetic, that's not so bad online, playing on
Yeah.
Zoom. But if you're doing extracurriculars, and I'm guessing that you're doing some kind of music theory, are you actually playing instruments or singing? Do you have to sing
Um
through your Zoom? And
it,
I'm going to ask the different because your voices are kind of. I'm trying to give the people an idea and myself an idea of which voice is which. Abby, if you'll answer that question first, and then Sophie will answer the question second.
And we haven't college wise, we've not really used Zoom. We've just been to and fro emails and stuff like that. Um, a lot of Google Docs, Google Classroom, that sort of thing. But no, we've not had any sort of singing or playing exams. If we've had to record our practice, so we've just filmed ourselves playing a couple of songs, and then we send it to our teachers, and we go, yeah, we're still practicing, even though we're not physically in school. Yeah.
And Sophie?
well, quarantine has just given me loads of time to just work on production mostly. But because I play guitar, and that's like my main instrument. I think I've developed on that a lot as well. It's through YouTube videos, just like YouTube videos, not any personal lessons. But I think production wise, because we use Logic Pro, and at first it's quite daunting to start off on it. But as me and Abby have been working together throughout, like what 4 months, about 4 months, I think. And we've just really developed our skills in like how to get a certain sound, and we look at other producers and stuff like that. So I think that's really like gotten us through quarantine.
Literally.
Well, Sophie, you say you play guitar, and you're the one that's doing Logic Pro. I know I learned in school a little bit about Pro Tools, but mostly I use Adobe Audition. In fact, I'm
Yeah.
recording the audio portion on Adobe Audition right now. Tell me a little bit about Logic Pro Tools, Logic Tools.
It's what I only use it because Billie Eilish's brother used it, and then I was thinking, oh, like if he's a really big inspiration as well. So I've just got it, and Abby, you had it before me as well.
Yeah.
And I got it, and then we just started learning on it. But it's not that I don't find it complicated because I had GarageBand beforehand.
Yeah.
And it just that really helps with like knowing what to do and how. I think mixing is the hardest part though.
Oh, mixing so difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get an idea of what the process is. I mean, I know that that's standard, but everybody has a different process, and you have a certain sound, and I want to know how that sound was made. You say you had GarageBand before. I've had people on this, and I've never used GarageBand myself. But I have 3 guitars that I cannot play very well. And there's a full piano in the house, but my 14-year-old daughter, she plays it. So I'm very excited to have her, that she can play this music. I'm jealous of people that can actually pick up instruments and play. So guitar is great, Sophie. And then Abby, do you play any instruments as well?
I play trumpet and saxophone. They're my main instruments. They were the ones that I've grown up with.
And I'm listening to the songs, and they're smooth. A lot of them are. I mean, what would you classify them? I mean, I know you're not supposed to categorize yourself or put yourself in any kind of a box, but I listen to them, and they're just like music to chill by. The Ivy sound is just, oh man, I can just listen to this while I'm, doing whatever, just chilling. Is that the sound that you're going for? Is that where you want to? I mean, I guess you don't know where you're going to end up, but is that what you're going for? Is the chill sound?
Yeah, definitely. We were going for the chill sound at first because like our sound's inspired by like Lau, Julia Michael, JP Sachs, all them artists. And it's more like, I'd say if we were to categorize it, I'd say bedroom pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and well, is it made in the bedroom for the most part?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand. And that's such an interesting change in how music has changed throughout my life. I'm a 51-year-old man. I bought records. I bought 8-track tapes. What's an 8-track tape, Grandpa? No, and I've produced things, and I've watched people produce things in big giant studios. But now for $1,000 or so, or I guess it would be a £1,000 or so, you can put together a pretty decent studio, at least to make a demo or something that's that you feel is quality enough to go out on the SoundCloud. I mean, what kind of equipment are you using beyond the Logic Pro? I mean, what kind of microphones, cables, and mixing boards and all that?
Well, I've saved up since last year in September for all my music gear. So I got my Mac, and then I got an Audio Technica microphone, it's AT2020 microphone, and then I got a stand for it. I got the Focusrite Scarlett interface for that, and then I used I think it's the Noble XLR cables, and then like 1/4-inch jack cables. I just bought them over a course of about a year and a half, like saving up, working for it. And but yeah, I'm happy with all my equipment now. And we've got like little keyboards. We've both got the Akai MPK minis each, so that really helps.
For the people that are listening that are trying to put together a studio, and that sounds like a pretty decent studio to me. I mean, at least it's giving you some good quality sound. What are the costs on that approximately?
Well,
$200,
I'd say
but Logic itself,
I'd say almost $1,000.
Yeah.
Like I said, just around £1,000, you can have a pretty decent studio. And that's, I mean, that's got to have the record producers and the record companies running scared, as you can go independent. You don't have to be signed on to somebody. I mean, there is advantage to go into a record producer. They can go out and sell 1 million units, conceivably, but then they keep quite a big percentage of the profits as well. And here,
Yeah.
if you put out 100,000 units, you keep all the profits, yourself.
Yeah.
Which is, it's an interesting time that we're living in. You have to kind of steer the course a different way when you're thinking about music and the business of music as well. And
Oh yeah, definitely.
you just
Mhm.
starting out in this, you have to kind of wade through the waters of all that. Have you had anybody approach you to produce your music and say, "Hey, I'm going to make you a star"?
No, we haven't actually. No, we I think we're just at first we were sort of like, I hope people approach us, but right now I think we're pretty good and independent because we upload our music through DistroKid to like Spotify, iTunes, and all of them. And I think we're pretty good at the moment. We're just trying to build ourselves up on
Yeah.
our own. But if someone does approach us, I mean, like, why
That-
not?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's definitely the way to go. I mean, I'm happy that you have this. What is how is the monetary? I mean, I'm not asking how much you're making, but where is it that you're putting up your music that you're able to get some financial reward from? Is that the Spotify, or is DistroKid? Do they pay you as well per listen?
Yeah, so DistroKid, whatever, you get all the money from DistroKid. So if someone buys a song on iTunes, then you do get the money. And in Spotify, I think it's a certain amount of plays. I'm not sure. I think it's about 1,000 plays. Then you start getting paid, but it's very like low pay. But at the moment, we're not too bothered about the money right now because we know we're only just starting out. So
Yeah. It's
No,
only been a couple of.
yeah.
I'm
Go
not too worried.
No, and I get it. It's not about the money. It's about the love of the creativeness. No, and I hear that a lot, and I know that you don't want to stifle yourself creatively or what have you. But you do have to make a living,
Oh yeah.
and I
Yeah.
encourage everyone that's listening right now to go ahead and put Ivy on their Spotify, because I remember when Justin Bieber put out one of his last songs, he said, "Everybody put it on Spotify and then go to sleep and just leave it going all over and over."
Yeah.
Put it and what a concept. The guy has a platform where he can get millions of people to do this, and
Mm.
I'm sure he made bank. So I want people to
Yeah.
do that as well. No, I want you to listen to the songs, but throw them on your Spotify list. Hey, give an independent artist a little love over there, right?
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, and okay, so let's go back into your school life and how you came to be who you are, the creatives that you are. Who was the first one, the youngest one, who started making music or listening to music, or I mean, what were your extracurriculars? I guess I'll go with AB. I'm doing alphabetical order for some reason. Okay, AB, go ahead and tell people, how do you started being creative? Did you dance? Did you sing? Did you play instruments? And how young were you when you did this?
Well, I started playing cornet, which is just a smaller trumpet, when I was about 6. So I've almost been playing for 10 years now. Um, and that was just something that we did in primary school. Like every kid there did it. Every kid played cornet. So, but my teacher saw something in me and said, "You need to carry on doing this. You need to carry on playing. Like you could be really good at this." So I did, and I carried on, and I got up to grade 8, which is the highest grade. And I just wanted to expand a bit as I was growing up, and I tried other things like piano and guitar. And then obviously I met Sophia at high school, and once we left school, we wanted to try something else and make our own music rather than just do covers. And then this is where we are now.
AB, that's amazing. You just told people that a teacher can steer the course of your life. Do you remember the
Yeah.
name of that teacher by any chance?
Yeah, he's Mr. Woodhead. I still have him as my teacher now.
What? Still,
Yeah.
after all these years? See, I'm not sure how school works over there. That you can have the same teacher over and over, or did that teacher change schools?
Well, I had him all the way through primary school, and then I had him all the way through high school. And now that I'm in college, he teaches me privately, so it's not through school anymore.
So, what kind of was it? A private school that you go to the same classes throughout
Oh
the
no,
years?
I think that was just her music teacher,
Yeah, my private
private music teacher.
privately.
Oh,
I had
so
him
So
Or
fancy
teacher.
over so fancy over there in the UK. You get one teacher from birth, and they take care of you throughout your life. No, that's great. And that teacher really did steer the course of your life and said, "Hey, I see something in you. We need to pursue this." Now,
He did. He changed my life.
now, do you play the horns, or is this all electronic in the music itself?
I just do the production side and mixing and just creating sounds. I don't actually play in any of our songs.
It's
We're
all
not kind of that vibe.
Now, Sophie, is this all electronic, or are there any guitars, any instruments that you're playing live, or is this all put together with the Logic Pro?
Well, we always start off with guitar, so I record in a guitar, and then if we don't have time, then I send it to Abby, and then she puts a few bits in it, like a beat and stuff, and then she sends it back to me, and then I mess around with the production and add stuff, and then I record vocals, and then we mix everything, and then if we want to add bits, take out bits, we just do that, and then we just keep messing about with it until we get it like how we want to sound.
Keep sending it to each other.
Yeah, back and forth.
That's so amazing. I was talking to a gentleman in Australia. I guess somewhere on the beach. I don't remember exactly where, but he plays guitar and he's the vocals. But then his drummer was in the Middle East, if I'm not mistaken, and his bassist was in Germany. And then they put all their stuff together in Australia at a different production company, and it was just it's amazing. They've never met each other face to face, but they're putting out this great music. It's amazing what the internet can be used for good.
Yeah.
But Sophie, let's go back in time for you. Where did you start thinking of your creativeness? What are your creative outlets?
Well, I've always wanted to play I've always wanted to play guitar since I was really little, since I was like 2 years old. And my parents bought me a ukulele, and I never learned how to play it. But as soon as I got into high school, my teacher taught me basic chords of guitar, and then he taught me like C, D, G, all that. And then I just progressed, and I just taught myself, and then I taught myself how to play piano, and I just keep teaching myself how to play different instruments. And then later on, I started posting covers on Instagram on a different account, and then it just, I don't know, I just did music all the time when I was at home, and I just wouldn't stop. I just kept doing it and doing it, and then as soon as it was that the end of high school, me and Abby like started becoming close friends because we did music together at high school, but we didn't really speak in class.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And then at the end of that, we were in the same class in college, so we just started talking a bit more, and now we're like best friends that make music together.
It's amazing. The language of music actually did bring you together.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Now, your parents, you said, "Hey, I want to play guitar." They bought you an ukulele, and I have to say ukulele, or else my 14-year-old daughter out there she'll be mad at me. So she says ukulele. But I know we have a pink ukulele somewhere in the house. But I'm feeling a little posh trying to say it's ukulele. Okay, that's the way I've always said it my whole life. But no, I guess they bought you that because you were smaller and they figured it would fit your fingers a little bit better. Was that the case?
Yeah, definitely. And then other year they bought me like a Spanish guitar, and I still couldn't play that. But as soon as I got to high school, then they thought, oh, like she's being serious, because they always used to like make fun of me saying, oh, you can't play, like you just can't do it and stuff. So then as soon as I got to high school, like my teacher taught me that, and I was like, oh, well, it's not too bad. It's actually not too bad when people say it's really hard to play guitar. It is at first, because you watch people and you think, how are they doing that with their fingers like that quick? But when you get used to it, the basic chords, and then you progress, it's actually not too bad.
Oh, I've been talking to local guitarists, and I look at their fingers, and some of these guitarists have fingers that are so long
Mm.
and skinny. But then I guess for a lot of instruments like piano, longer fingers is advantageous as well.
Yeah.
My goodness! But you taught yourself music, Sophie. But was it all YouTube, or was it books, or how
Um,
did you teach yourself?
It was mostly YouTube. I started learning because I can't read music, and it's really annoying. I can't read music, and I wish I learned, but I didn't really look at any theory side. I liked a song, and then I looked on YouTube, how do you play the song? And then I just started from then, and I learned how different chords, and then I started writing songs myself. So that's how, yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, Abby. Abby or Sophie, any parents that are in the creative business? I mean, how was your family life growing up? I mean, I always feel like most of the time when I talk to people that are creative, their parents, well, in any job, if your dad was a carpenter, you are more inclined to be a carpenter. That I guess that's throughout history. People have done that. But are there any creative juices flowing in any of your family members, mom, dad, or any siblings?
No, my parents are both teachers. My sister doesn't do music, but she's very creative. She works in like costume and fashion. So I guess we both sort of took a creative side, but completely different. But no music in my family.
No, that'll help you a lot. Having two teachers in your life. How was that growing up? Yeah, tell me about having two teachers. What kind of classes do they teach?
Well,
Your mum's sort of like a mentor for university students.
university lecturer, yeah.
Yeah, and your dad lectures
hmm
college students, yeah.
It was very helpful for when I had exams and stuff because they could help me out with stuff like that.
Yeah, I might jump to conclusions. They'll say, "Oh, this music thing is kind of good, but you better have a backup plan." What's your backup plan?
I don't know. Don't really have one to be honest.
Yeah.
I wanted.
Sometimes you get into this music thing, and that's all you want to do. My mom told me to get a real job my whole life. I don't
My
like real
parents.
jobs. I like this. I like doing this. I like talking into microphones, talking to people. I DJ on the weekends. I like
Hmm.
doing that. That's my fun. That's my jam. And I know that this weekend, coming up this next weekend, I know we're doing this on Saturday, but next weekend I'll put a little Ivy into my mix, and people are going to go, "Who is that? That's cool." I like to put a lot, new music, new artist out there,
Yeah.
and then people go, "Hey, who is that? That's a good jam, man. That's nice." And then I'll
Mm.
say, "Ooh, that's Ivy. Look them up on Spotify. Put them on your list. Do it."
Thank you.
Yeah, and then your sister, she's a costume director or a costume maker. That's going to help you a lot when you're doing your stage uh,
Yeah.
performances. I mean, is that in the plan? Are you going to remain in the bedroom making music, or do you think you might want to go out into a cafe or into a bigger stage and perform as Ivy out to the masses?
Well, we've been asked to do some local gigs around our town and area and everything, which we want to do after lockdowns ease a little bit more here. But we haven't really thought that far on because we've only been doing this for a couple of months. We didn't really
Mm.
think it'd go this far so quickly. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I saw a meme just yesterday. Those people in 2015 in your 5-year plan, you were wrong. You are absolutely wrong. Whatever you thought you were going to do in your 5-year plan, you're wrong. You're quarantined.
Yeah.
You're finding other ways to do things. Yeah,
Mm.
how's it been hitting you? You say you're in the Manchester area.
Yeah.
Uh, How, how,
Yeah.
how's it been hitting you over there? I guess current events.
Well, we live by the sea. So it's been quite bad here because a lot of holidaymakers have been coming from other places in the UK to the sea. So we've been getting a lot of cases here, but we've only had one lockdown so far. We have local lockdowns here, but there's one in Manchester right now. So we're feeling like we're gonna have one soon.
I guess that we've been breaking out of quarantine a little bit here in Conway, Arkansas, kind of in the central south of the United States, and I like the way that we've done it here. We've kept away from each other, wear masks when we're interacting with each other. but pretty
Yeah.
much everything has been business as usual. And I think that has been the way to go. Some people have been very extreme in the United States, like New York. They shut down
Yeah.
completely, where streets would be filled with cars. There were people taking Instagram photos on empty streets on Broadway, and just
Yeah.
wow, nobody on the streets. And then they did go down to a very small percentage. That was a way to go, but that was very extreme. But
Yeah.
then there's other places that didn't lock down at all, and they had several problems. But we stayed somewhere down the middle. So yeah, I'm vigilant. I have a mask and I'll wear it if I'm interacting with people and whenever I go into grocery stores. I mean, how is it walking around town with you?
It's actually, well, we have to it's like compulsory to wear your mask everywhere. And then they have hand sanitizer in literally every single shop. But there's quite a lot of people walking around. So you do have to be careful. Like, just try to keep your distance as like.
The
Yeah.
social distancing has been the hardest for people. Like for us, it's not too bad, but a lot of people aren't doing it. So you have people walking straight towards you, and you're like, what? So you have to take a wide berth around them so that you don't go near them. So it's just easier to stay inside because there's just people like that everywhere.
Now, I'm a big dummy, but I listen to podcasts all the time, and I'm hearing the science of the hand sanitizer. It's a virus. It's not going to be killing any viruses with the hand
Yeah.
sanitizer, but what it is doing is it's killing the biomes in your hands that you need.
Yeah.
It's destroying your skin. So wash your hands, soap and water for sure. But you're
Yeah.
talking. I saw another meme. Well, it was like a little conversation meme yesterday where women, okay, and you being two young ladies, uh, you might run into this, and run into this is kind of a pun for what I'm about to say, but there was a lady that said, you know what, I saw a guy coming right for me, and I decided not to swerve because the typical idea for a lady is to get out of the way of a man, get out of the
Mm,
way. The man is in charge, right? But
yeah.
she decided to go straight for the men that were coming at her, and she ended up bumping into 20 different guys during the course of a day
Mm,
because she didn't swerve. Have you ever,
yeah.
run into this where the masculinity is always in charge? How do you feel about the place of women as you're growing up and as you're becoming women and heading out into the world? I know this might be deep, but I want to hear from some young ladies in Manchester in the UK of your thoughts.
Well, I think, yeah, you do feel like stereotyped as like a typical female, like, or like, I don't know. I hear people like lads our age saying, "Oh, like get in the kitchen," just just like taking the mick out of us. But I do get quite like defensive, I guess. I get like, I think the stereotypes obviously dampened from before, but it's still a little bit, and I do feel like, yeah, male like dominance is still there a little bit, but I think it's starting to get better.
I mean, do you feel like you can do anything? And me, I'm an old guy too. I'm 51 years old. I mean, I remember when I was 20, I thought 50, ooh, that's ancient. But now I'm 51, and I go, it's not so bad. We're okay.
Mm,
But I still think the traditions, where the man goes off to work and the woman stays home and she takes care of the house, and that's the situation that I have personally. But if she wanted to go out to work, that'd be fine. I'm okay with
yeah,
that. But she's completely happy with the way that our our lives are have taken course, because now she can take care of said 14-year
yeah,
old and teach her how to play piano and other instruments, and teach her the ways of the world. But
yeah,
and there's still certain jobs that I feel like, man, maybe a woman shouldn't do that, like firefighting and police work. And I mean, oh, call me controversial. I'm going to get some emails on that one. But just jobs that could be harder for a lady. And I know that there's strong women. There's women stronger than me
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And so there are exceptions to the rule, but there's traditional things. I mean, what do you? How do you? how did they steer you in school? Did they send you to home ec and all the lady classes as opposed to going to fix cars in the garage? Because there's different vocational classes that you can take. Did the school try to steer you certain ways?
No, we don't really have anything like that in our school. We just have our set maths, English, science, that sort of thing. And we have things like child development, which is a typical girl subject, but we had boys in that class, and it's good. I think we're quite good at it in the UK, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, are the kids getting a well-rounded education? Are they learning everything that they, getting all the tools in their toolbox so they can go out into the world and figure out what they want to do? And I know that
Oh yeah.
your idea
Yeah.
is that you want to do music right now. I mean, and I know I asked Abby, but Sophie, do you have a backup plan? How were your mom and dad and your siblings growing up?
Well, all my family are really academic, so they don't really agree with like creative arts and stuff like that. But they they agree with it as being a hobby for me. But if an opportunity did come up that I was like, oh, I'll take that, then I would do that. But they prefer me to get a real job, so whatever that means. But I'm planning to. My main plan for them is to go into the police or prison service and do that. But that's if music doesn't work out for us, and I can always do it on the side as well.
See, and I just mentioned police. How women. I guess there's exceptions to the rules. But in a prison system, I could see it.
Yeah,
And here I am being very sexist. The maternal qualities. Women generally have the maternal qualities, so you can take care of people in a prison, de-escalate any problems. Hey,
yeah,
things are going to be all right there, prisoner 847. You're going to be just fine. Put the spoon down that you've made into a shiv. No, that's that has to be a tough job, anyways. Working in the prison. What got you interested in that?
I think I don't actually know because I remember because my uncle's a police officer as well, and he was telling me like all the things he did, all the different crimes he solved, and stuff like that. And I thought it was really interesting, and I've always wanted to do that since like in high school, sort of high school, because I was thinking of music like constantly. And then like my family was speaking to me about like what do you want to do, and I can't say music because I'd be like no. So I was thinking police officers my backup plan.
Well, I mean, because yes, artist. The word starving gets put in front of artist quite a bit,
Mhm.
and so
Yeah.
it is a bet, a chance that you're taking on yourself to
Yeah.
go out into the world and not work for somebody else, uh, per se, but to work for yourself. You're betting that you can do this, and I see that you can do this. You definitely can do this. You've put your uh, you started a year ago, but you started putting out that finished product maybe a couple of months ago. I'm looking at the SoundCloud was about 2 months ago. You really delved hard into it and produced stuff. Were you putting any? You say you put covers on YouTube on a different channel before or Instagram?
Oh yeah, that was on Instagram. I made just a cover account, and I started posting like last year in about March, April, March, and I just started posting quite a lot, and I kept doing it. I kept being consistent with it and like gaining followers, and I think I gained about 1,300 or just under, and then I started focusing on Ivy.
All right. And you're under. All right. Yeah. I guess we can give the people the an idea of how to find you online. I mean, I know I'm taking some of your Saturday afternoon away from you, and actually I have a dance recital for my daughter. She's dancing and now in this socially distanced era that we're living in. They're dancing outside. We're all bringing our own chairs and we're dancing outside, and we're sitting outside away from each other. It's going to be kind of interesting. I'm very excited to go and see her dance. She's been doing it for 6 years now. It's great,
Oh, really?
and I want her to go further. I want her to go as far as she wants
Yeah.
to go. So our parents and teachers. I guess we've touched on that is who pushes you throughout your life. Steering you in the right direction. Sophie, your uncle, being a police officer, said, "Yeah, I could be a cop. I like that idea. I like the stories that I want to have stories like that to tell my children and the people around me, right?" But
Yeah.
give the people an idea of how to find you online.
On Instagram, my cover account it does have my face on it, but it's not like I've changed my last name on it, so people don't. But it's Sophia, and then it's Veraz, Veraz, and it's just that.
Sophia with a PH.
Yeah, PH.
Let's see. I'm looking it up right now. And then Sophie, any other? I mean, sorry, Abby. Any other extracurricular activities that you're doing online there?
No, I don't post anything online.
Okay. Well, okay. And then as Ivy, how do people find you?
It's IVY_official10.
Okay. And then on Facebook?
On Facebook, it's just Ivy Official, capital IVY. And we're on Twitter as well, aren't we?
Yeah. Which is the same as the Instagram, Ivy_official10.
Okay. Now I have that picture up on the YouTube version of this podcast. If anybody's just listening to the audio version, I encourage you to check out the YouTube version, the radiowhat.com. Now, unfortunately, yes, as we said in the beginning, we're protecting the image of these young ladies, these young lasses, and making sure that they stay protected until at which time that they feel, hey, I'm going to go out into the world and present myself. Now, do people still do that? I know at a certain age, like a sweet 16 or a sweet 15, or do you do a Castilian? Have you done a coming out party? Do people still do that? I know I'm old.
I don't think no, I've never heard. No, I'm not sure.
Scenes and stuff like that, but it's not really a big deal. I think it's more of just a saying than there's a
yeah.
Like celebrating big birthdays, like 16 or I go 1 through 9, you get a birthday. 10, a little bit, and then 11, 12, but then when 16, 16, that's a great birthday, and then 18 coming up real soon.
Big one because we can when it's legal to drink. So I think 18 is the big birthday.
You're gonna have a big celebration. You got something planned?
No, we haven't actually.
No, I think I'm thinking of going out in Manchester. I'm not sure.
Yeah, tell me about I've heard of Manchester on the beach. Is that what it is? Manchester? That's like a movie, isn't it?
No, we live about I'd say about half an hour away from Manchester.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad like to nip on the train and just go into Manchester. But it's quite a big city. Like it's a really big city. But it is really good because all the concerts are there as well.
Yeah, Manchester Arena and stuff like that. O2 Arena.
And is there a beach, or do you spend time on the water, or what are the extracurricular activities that you like to do?
Yeah, we go to the beach quite a lot. But I don't know, Abby, like, what do we even do?
We tend to just go out wherever we can to a park or something. I don't know.
There's like forests around, so we have a walk through there. We don't really have interest in like social lives.
No, especially not the last few months.
Yeah.
Well, and I know that Sophie, you saved a lot of money over the last year. I mean, and
Yeah.
you know what I got for my 9th birthday? A job. No, my dad, my family has always said, if you want something, go out and work for it. If you want those shoes, those clothes, you go work for it. Ivy, what kind of work did you do to save up all that money for that good equipment?
I worked in a Thai restaurant for quite a few months, like 6 months. And then I worked for my dad, just like doing chores, basically getting paid for chores. And that's how I did it. I just did that constantly, and then I started buying bit by bit. I didn't buy it all at once, so I got my laptop, and then I bought Logic, and then I got my interface and mic and everything, and I got my keyboard. So it's just like building it up more than buying it all at once.
Yeah, I feel like you got more out of it getting, having to work for it rather than having your parents here have some
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you develop a work ethic. Abby, have you ever had any Joe jobs, I guess, as you're growing up?
If I've had any money, I've normally got it from gigging or something. But I've been quite lucky with my parents got me like my MacBook and they bought me Logic for Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. But um, we have a lot of stuff in our family because my sister's boyfriend is also a musician, and he's been good with going, oh, I need an audio interface. Can I borrow your audio interface today? And he goes, oh yeah, here you go. So I've been quite lucky in the fact that I've always had things available for me.
That's
So yeah, I'm
great.
grateful.
Abby, you said you made money gigging. I had no idea. I thought you had done some things, maybe out there for exposure, but you've done some shows, on your own. What kind of shows?
Through college, we're in bands and we can get paid gigs sometimes, so that's quite fun.
That
Just
is
in some pubs and stuff.
like what kind of clubs? Like over 18 clubs, like real clubs?
Just like little restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, like more like pubs, I reckon.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So you've already been in front of people playing for dough, for money, and
Yeah.
there's busking, I guess, is a way to make some money where you go out and throw a
Mm.
hat out and say put some tips in that jar, what have you. But no, these are actual gigs, and that's great. You're so far ahead of the game. You've already done shows, and Sophie, have you done shows as well? For money?
Um, I did. I haven't really performed in front of people, but there was one competition. There was two competitions actually. I entered a competition with my friend, but I wasn't really confident with singing then, so I just played guitar for it, and it was called Teen Star, and I performed. I think it was in front of about 500 people. That was my first performance, so it was quite scary, but I managed to do it. And then the second one was an audition for Britain's Got Talent with the same friend, and that wasn't that many. That was about 30 people. So, but they're the only shows I've done.
Yeah, when I do shows, 30 or 3,000 or 30,000, or I guess my biggest one was 70,000, but it doesn't matter. I still play
Yeah,
exactly the same with that same energy, that same feeling, put it
Yeah.
out there. That's fantastic. You've done shows, and
yeah.
I mean, how does it feel putting it? Have you been able to put the Ivy music out there, in front of anybody, or is that something that's on the horizon?
No, hopefully that's yet to come.
That's yet to
Mhm.
come. Now, how are you going to perform that? Do if you're going to do, I guess more of a, well, I guess you'll be playing um, your guitar, Sophie, and then will you play any of the horned instruments as well as having the electronics in the background, Abby?
I play a little bit of bass, so if we were able to perform live, I'd play bass. Sophia would play guitar and sing. I might do a few harmonies, but then we also have like our laptop plugged into the main system, and we just play the electronic parts out of the speaker.
I know when I go to some of the techno shows, the light show is really a big
Mhm.
part of it as well. And, the
Yeah.
big production. Do you have people that help you produce, or is this all a two woman job?
No,
It's just a two-woman job.
That's fantastic. I know that Abby, you said that your sister's boyfriend has a few pieces of equipment, but nobody else is
yeah.
helping you produce
No,
the songs at all.
No.
no, just us.
So before we release this, does this sound good? And that's it.
Amazing, just amazing. And I'm very impressed to know you at this early stage of the game, and I look forward to hearing a lot more about you as time progresses. I don't want this to be the last time that we talk, and perhaps the next time you will throw some video up on the screen next to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, but all right, I guess what are the in on the near horizon? What what do you want I mean, what do you want to do with the music as time progresses?
I want,
Um,
well, we want to get more production. We want our production to be a bit bigger. We want to make more of an impactful sound. Hopefully, get some gigs, play actually in front of people would be quite nice.
yeah.
Nothing planned right now.
Well, I think we're gonna try because we got asked to do a gig, that local gig. We're gonna try that out first, and we're just gonna figure out how to set everything up and what to do with all the sounds and lighting and stuff like that. And then once we get comfortable with the first one, I think then we'll start like looking for more and more.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the people that are listening in the UK, do you have a place already and a date, a time? Do you have something scheduled?
Um, we don't actually know the time yet because we're just waiting on the girl to tell us all the details because the place is getting like redone up for us. So hopefully, but we'll post it on our Instagram anyway.
Very cool. Well, I've been doing a regular show at one of the bigger locations that I go to, the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, and that's one of my bigger event rooms. And I've been doing that on Friday nights. And over the last, I guess they opened up maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago, but we're very cautious. We got the hand sanitizer that may or may
Yeah,
not help you at all. Sitting at the front door, there's masks to put on. You put on the mask as you walk in. When you're seated and you're having your drinks and having your food, you can pull the mask down a little bit so you can get at your mouth. But when you're walking around and you're interacting with people, pull that mask
Mm.
back up. I'm
Mhm.
guessing that'll be very similar to the way that things are going to have to be, at least until we get this virus nicked. I guess
Yeah,
there's going to be a cure soon. They're already. I know there's smarter people, scientists out there that
yeah,
are working on this, and we're going to have this nicked by early next year for sure. But until then, I mean, do you feel like that's going to be how it is, where people, hey, wear a mask and all that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think wearing a mask will be compulsory for like. I heard that it's going to be almost probably until the middle of next year or like a bit over. And I think just until they get like vaccine, really.
Mhm.
Sure enough, make your plans. So I
Yeah,
mean, make your plans to go see Ivy at a place near you. And
yeah.
you could go worldwide with this. And Ivy's a great name. Now, when I looked up Ivy Official, I did come across a like a wedding site. But I think
Oh
that
yeah,
that if you brand the Ivy Official 10, or I guess Ivy underscore official 10, if you brand that everywhere, that should
mm,
be a good way to find you. Ivy underscore official 10. At least that's the way to find you on Instagram and Twitter. And then the Facebook
yeah.
is Ivy Official. I've already found you. You got one more like. And is there a YouTube for you?
No, we haven't actually figured out how to because we want it to be like a video, but with like the front cover on, or we might because I think we're having a photo shoot done with our friend because she does photography, so that'll be good. And then I think we'll start doing YouTube because I think that's quite an important platform.
Yeah.
Well, give credit where credit is due. Who's the photographer?
Oh, I don't know if she'll want us to mention her name, but she does A-level photography,
Okay.
and that's like that's a really good photography qualification. So she said that because our college has a photography studio. So I think when we go back in September, I reckon she'll take some pretty good photos for us.
I always like to give shout outs to people that help us along the way. And as I'm going up this ladder, I'd like to help people along the
Yeah,
way as well. And it's good that it's something. I mean, I know I've reflected on this before. When I was your age and in my 20s, I don't remember helping as many people as I possibly could have. I remember, climbing the
yeah,
ladder and doing my thing and not really. Well, I mean, there were some charities I was involved in, and that's a good thing
mm,
as well. But certainly,
Mm.
if somebody needs help, they need a piece of equipment, they need to borrow your Audio Technica microphone. It's kind of iffy on whether to give that up. But if you really, hey, I can let you borrow that for a day, no
yeah,
problem.
Mm.
I'm happy with that. Just clean it off before you give it back to me, you
yeah.
coronavirus laden person. But no, I kid, I kid. All right. Well, I think I've taken a lot of your time. Thank you,
No,
Abby,
I've
and
enjoyed
thank you, Sophie. I appreciate you so much, the members of Ivy, and
it.
things are starting off, and I see nothing but good things. I mean, you got the talents and the will and the desire to get
Thank
out
you.
there and put it out there.
Uh,
Uh,
Yep.
so, all right, I usually finish these things off with last words for the people, and I since there's two of you, I guess I'll have to do two last words for the people. And well, I've been going in alphabetical order this whole time, so why stop now, right? Abby, I'm going to give you the last words for the people, and then Sophie, you'll go right after. But Abby, you can give people uh, some words that to live by, something that you heard as you were growing up, or you could just whatever pops into your head right now. Abby, last words for the people.
Just follow us on all of our social medias. Just keep an eye out for the SoundCloud because we're releasing almost every week, I think, now.
Mm,
Keep having new ideas. We've got nothing else better to do, I guess. So,
yeah.
yeah, just keep an eye out for all of our new songs.
Sophie, last words for the people.
I'd say the same thing. Just keep an eye out, and if you really, really want something, go and get it and work for it. Because hard work does pay off. I can't stress that enough. Hard work does pay off, and if you want to build a studio, go get a job, and then earn the money, and then you can buy whatever studio stuff you need. It'll take time, but it's worth it, definitely.
Well, there you have it, party people. Ivy. Find them everywhere. Ivy underscore official 10. Thank you so much, Abby. And thank you so much, Sophie, for giving me a good talking to and letting me find out a little bit about who you are and how you're uh, growing up in the world and becoming the creative people that you are. And giving me a little idea of what kind of equipment that you need to do these endeavors. I listened to your SoundCloud songs. They're very chill. And yeah, I guess bedroom music would be right. You know, if you're just chilling in your bedroom, just listening, trying to wind down for the day, it's very relaxing and very chill. And I appreciate you so much for being on the program and telling a little bit about who you are. I look forward to hearing more from you, Ivy. Ivy underscore official 10. Find them everywhere. Add them. Do it. Do it right now. I'll wait. Okay. If you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to stay on this feed and give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. Like, subscribe, do all that kind of thing. Leave me reviews and follow me on the YouTube. I think I'm trying to grow the YouTube channel using this platform. And when I do have conversations with folks that want to have their video up, you get to see their faces as well. So that'll happen soon with Ivy, I'm sure. All right, party people. I guess that's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.